Hey everyone, this is Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I'm here to do the monthly reading for Taurus for the month of April 2021. I've already meditated on your cards, and please remember that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everyone. Please take what does and leave the rest. Today I'm doing the element spread, its current situation, how you can move through it through intellect and communication, the emotions that you can connect with it, and how you move through it with smoother transition or ease, how you move through it. So I'm going to use oracle cards and tarot mix, and I have some clarifiers as well. So please bear with me so I can set it up, and then we'll get started. Okay. This is the fourth card change in this position. 4 readings now for 4 different signs. The same card in the same position. There is a major shift in transformation and lots of change with every sign this month. This is the theme. There's always a theme. That's totally crazy. I'm not surprised though. Very interesting. It's insane. I'm going to take both because they both flipped. Bottom of the deck, the void. So this is about going inward and being okay to do some of the deep work that you need to do to release the things that no longer serve you and having like overcoming fear and releasing fear. This is a very transformational time, especially in the month of April for a lot of people, like I said. And this is about being comfortable in that darker space and getting to know yourself to the point where it's the same energy that you have in the darkness and you have in the lightness, and really being very comfortable with who you are. You know, Taurus, and I'm a Taurus as well, so I'm speaking for myself too, but you know, you have the fruition card coming up next, and abundance. Like, we have really gathered all of these, the fruits of our labor, and we are all about creating abundance, in whatever category that is. Could be money, could be things, could be success, it could be many different aspects of your life. But you know, it's amazing that we have the similar thing of most signs, but we're just I feel like, I'm biased, but I feel like we're just in a very different space. All earth signs, and fixed signs are very similar, but I don't know, I just see a lot of the similarities through the thing. Oh, okay. So yeah, let me do this real quick. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, the High Priestess. Thank you. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, the Page of Wands. So this is about, it is about going in within to do some deeper work, but this is all about self-discovery and enthusiasm about it, and having, you know, like this energy about it that is like inviting, like you want to go down this route, you're ready to go down this route to do this work. So and the Two of Pentacles in reverse though, so maybe still still looking to have this balance and adaptability towards things that we need to work on. Still getting to know yourself and be comfortable in that darkness and in this time. And it's all about making choices. Like, we're at crossroads right now. We're making decisions that are going to make or break situations, or like bring us on the path or direction that we want to go to. So it's a lot of work. And the Queen of Wands, a lot of wand energy here. And this is all about your creativity and your passion, and feeling confident in it, but having the patience to move through this in a very elegant way. So we're on to a really awesome month so far, I think. I'm gonna pull a couple more, then we're gonna get started. So far, this looks great. I've already pulled some cards. Well, they fell out during the shuffle, so I like to keep them and then bring them as the essence of the reading. So, current situation, please, for Taurus. April 2021. This is going to go this way. Thank you. We'll take them. Card I don't always understand, but I'm going to dissect it today. Outcome, please. Those back inside room. Bottom of the deck, communication. It's funny, I've been choking on everybody's position of communication and intellect. So bear with me with water. But I just did Aries. I'm also Aries. No, I'm not actually. My daughter, sorry. Sorry, I don't know. My partner is, my wife is Aries. So this is all about communication. This is the Four of Pentacles. But this is also, well, in this deck, they're a very different deck. But there's bees and pentacles here, or diamonds. The Four is all about stability, you know. And in the regular deck, this is... all about guarding, like protecting your wealth, protecting what's yours, and feeling stable in that. This also could mean like overprotected and kind of like not stingy, but kind of like overly guarded and like not taking risks too for some. I don't really feel like that's the majority of the energy, but this is all about communicating too. In this deck, it's communication. And maybe feeling stability in the way that you communicate and feeling confident in the way that you have been communicating, and sorting through that and navigating through that, so you are speaking your truth, your true potential. So, and at the bottom also it's decluttering, five of cups, and this is all about change and like really sorting out things, getting rid of things that don't serve us anymore, emotions, baggage, just stuff, cleaning your mind, your heart, your spirit, and your house, and your people that are around you that no longer serve you anymore, and communicating about this, you know. And then you have growth. We're always growing. Let's be for real. We're always doing inner work, but this is the Fool, you know, going in this with like this self-belief, this new self-belief, and a new journey, you know, and really tapping into that and going in with a fresh start. But here, I just feel like this is also going in protected too, you know, and grounded, and wisdom, having inner wisdom. And that's the soul's journey so much, not just like the human journey, but not going in this blindly so much. It's like guided by spirit, and that's how I feel about it. So that's always, I'm not very expecting this to not be about self-growth or self-development of some sort, just because I know Taurus is and how they are. But, you know. So, just like to state it anyway. Current situation, please. Last card, and then we'll get started in the reading. So, the overall energy of the reading is finding balance and inner strength, having inner strength. And I'll go through those cards. It's all about the energy. It's funny, I said energy and the energy card came out. The energy I'm feeling of this is more about like this inner weaving, or inner, I want to see it like intertwining, weaving together like all of your experiences and your lessons, and all the wisdom that you've gained, all this, especially for over the past year, you know, and really putting this together, and seeing like how much you've grown, and really appreciating and honoring that, and being in with that, you know, and like seeing how much courage you've had to come this far, you know, to really be vulnerable and to really put yourself out there. So just seeing every facet of yourself, you know, and being proud of yourself for that, because it's a lot of work and a lot of people don't do that. So you should be very proud of yourself for that. But also acknowledging like how much you've grown, you know, realizing that the acknowledgement is just as important as the journey. So, emotional. All over, sorry. These don't always like to jump out at me, so patience with that. And then one more outcome, and then we're going to get started. Outcome. That was fast. Definitely some action in your outcome, movement, and needing to release some fears. Bottom of the deck, fire, transformation, rebirth, renewal. Yeah, I definitely think that there is definitely a transformation here, an evolving of some sort, and feeling really alive and feeling really, I don't want to say passionate, but I guess you could say passionate. I just feel like very connected and very present and very fiery energy. Like you're just ready to go, but in this grounded way. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Speak up. Use your voice to express yourself. And we're gonna talk about this, about self-reflection. The self-reflection came out, and having will, which I'll talk about. But it is about speaking your truth. I said that from before, like when we first started, like it is all about speaking your truth. You know, speaking up. Even if it's just to yourself, you know, like, this is a big one too that I've been going through, forgiveness and set yourself free. For maybe this is coming up just for some of you to maybe speaking up about something that you're trying to release, but it's not about them. It's about us. You know, forgiving those who have hurt us for us to heal, not for them. That might resonate with somebody. It might not. It's not. I'm not keeping it in the reading, but I tried to read the bottoms a little bit. Okay, so in the current situation, we have energy, intensity, passion, power. We have change. We have the 10 of Wands, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. But in this deck, it's all about identity. So, so energy, I do feel like there's a lot of momentum going here. You know, I think that we're very passionate with what we do. We're really fiery right now. We've come, we've come so far, and have done so much work. And now it's just like, number one, having a little bit of fun and finding fun in all of this. Depending on where you are in the world, it's like our weather's getting warmer, and just need to balance out the energy of hard work, self-work, spiritual work, and fun. So for some of you that might be an issue, or especially for me, I need that. But the energy is definitely moving. It's definitely forming. It's definitely accumulating, and it's a matter of using it for the greater good, or using it in the best capacity possible. So that's kind of where you are, and there's lots of change going on. And I feel like as Tauruses, I always hear like, oh, we resist change a lot, and because we're very comfortable and we like our security and we like our comfortability. But for the Tauruses that I know, and as myself, like I'm okay with the change as long as I'm in control of it. Even if there is a tower moment, it's fine, but I don't know. I feel like I could go with the flow with a little bit more. Maybe it's my older age, but I don't know. Some of you can be resisting the change. She's either pushing off or resisting it to come, preventing it from the egg coming towards her. It's your perspective on things. You know, are you the pusher offer and going with the flow and the current, or are you the resistor? And if you are the resistor, what are you afraid of? You know, sitting with your fears, really acknowledging your fears, writing them down, speaking up about them. You know, like verbalizing them, getting them out of your body. Because there's definitely fear here that's keeping you stagnant. That's usually what we are afraid of with change, is like fear, like the unknown. You know, is this going to be comfortable for me? Am I going to like it? Am I going to be settled in here? You know, so just really sitting here and kind of observing that energy and seeing what you need to shift in order to flow easier with the change. The 10 of Wands is all beautiful horse. It's all about responsibility and dedication, you know, and holding space. There's something coming to a completion. You're reaching your goal now. You know, you've worked really hard. So maybe some of you are already in this transition, or already had this change and this fiery kind of energy come about. And now you're actually starting to create something new. You know, you're dedicating your time and energy right now into this to really manifesting this, to really creating this energy, or navigating it or directing it in some way, and being very responsible with this job of yours right now, with this energy, with this lightning that's on this card. And it's all about finding identity right now. Excuse me. Aces are all about new concepts, new ideas, bringing things to fruition, creating something. This could be creating a new job or a new idea or like an event, or, you know, just something that's being new, something is being created here. This could be an employment thing for work, for some of you. Others, it could be like really looking at buying a new house or moving somewhere. But just like, what is your identity? Do you identify only with work? Is that your true identity, or is it a piece of you? You know, like personally, I identified with working at my spa for 12 years, and I didn't know anything else. And when I quit that job, I died inside, because that was what I was identifying with. But then realized when I grew back, like I built back up, it was only a piece of me that was that, not my true identity. And I'm only sharing that is because for some, like, I think that we are so passionate about our work, and we are hard workers, and sometimes our identity gets mixed in with the career and with the job and with the person and with, like, so it's about really separating it and analyzing it. And what is your identity? What do you identify with? You know, who are you? Are there different components of you? Do you mesh them all together? Like, just, this is all about perspective and analyzing where you are right now. It's just a matter of like really sitting with yourself and listening to what your body is trying to tell you, or your mind is trying to tell you, your heart, your intuition is trying to focus on. So let me put some clarifiers for this identity. Excuse me. I thought I saw a card full here. There it goes. Bound. Yeah, some of you might feel a little tied down in a situation. Could be work, could be a relationship, could be your life. You just feel trapped and stagnant, like you can't shift anything right now. And that's why you're resisting the change. Some of you can't physically do it right now. Maybe there is a way you can do it so you can compromise with yourself a little bit. If you can't do it right now, at least keep the momentum going. For others, I feel like you're tying yourself down by your emotions, by your way of being, by your fear. Like, for me, this fear is sticking here. Like, not allowing yourself to feel free or be free, or shift or go with the change because your fear has controlled you for so long. So yeah, let me do one more for identity, please. Intuition, yeah. I think connecting with your intuition and what your body's truth is, or what your being's truth is. What is your true calling? What is your true essence? What are you really about? I think that would set you free, because it allows you to like whatever you're deciding intuitively. It's like that's truth, and there's nothing that can manipulate that, because that's your truth. So yeah, I think that's really great. I think I get where we're going. I'm going to do one more for 10 of Wands, please. Okay, thank you. Yeah. The responsibility you have right now to yourself to navigate this energy in a very elegant way. You have the wisdom to do so. I think I'm not even like, this is not even advice really. This is just like saying this is what's coming up, because I think Tauruses are so tapped in, and you know yourself, and you've worked on yourself so much. So just really tapping in. I'm just re-inviting you to these situations more than showing you that they exist, because I know you know they exist. But just tapping into your wisdom, your inner wisdom, and realize how strong you really are. To push through for the ones that are resisting change because of fear. I'm just inviting you to know that you're so strong and you have the inner wisdom. It's just the strength card and the wisdom card. Sorry, I haven't been good about showing you the cards. So I think that's where you're at. Oh, speaking of, I've been doing this all day today, so I'm sorry, but I forgot to talk to you about the essence of the reading. And the overall essence of the reading is strength. which I just showed you, your strength card. So that's coming in strong for us Tauruses. This is about connecting to yourself, being strong within. This is being strong with your intuition. This is being strong and connecting to the universal consciousness and energy, meaning like I feel like we hold the strength for the world and for everyone around us, for the universal consciousness. So it's like holding space for everyone, but saving some strength for us. You know, it's kind of what I'm feeling here. I feel like we hold space for everyone a lot, and we need to save some for us. We also have the Temperance card in reverse. And Temperance is all about balance. What does she have a number? No, not in here. Temperance is, I think, 14. So it's all about finding balance, but also taking caution. Being cautious about your energy. Being cautious. Oh, that came out with this deck in the beginning while I was shuffling. I even wrote it down. Keep your guard up. And it was being cautious. I think it's about being cautious with boundaries and being cautious with like the energy that you need, and the, like, you know, like I just said, the strength card is like you give it to the world, but you also need some for yourself. So being cautious with it, being exerting yourself, overexerting yourself, and overly giving the energy that you don't have. You know, I think this is also saying you need to preserve some of this energy for yourself, because this is a, you know, deep work and you don't want to get depleted. I just feel like there's depletion here. That's what's coming up. And that's why there's an imbalance here. Because, and it's also about being cautious. Because, so I see this bird, he's like scraping her face off, if you can see it. I know it's disturbing visual, but I just feel like that is pieces of people taking like what's yours away from, like, kind of like just taking what they need, and you're like left bare bones. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. And your heart is always in a good place to be vulnerable and put yourself out there for people and not caring, but I think it's taking its toll on you in a fatigued way, like you're very fatigued for some of you. It's exhausting to hold space for everybody and for yourself. So I think this is what this is inviting you to do, is gain some of the strength back for yourself. Get rid of some of the vampires. I know it's hard to stop helping people, but just step away for a minute and analyze and observe what you need to take for yourself, because you can't hold space that long without preserving it for you too. So you're doing a disservice to everybody. Keep going that way anyway. So just stepping back and like filling your, fueling yourself, filling your cup, and then if you need to continue with some people to help them through stuff, that's fine, but there comes a time where you just need to find that fine balance. So, but I definitely feel there's transformation there going on. Sorry, I didn't mean to swap, but that's the current situation. That was the overall essence. And then we're getting into how you can move through this through intellect and communication, and let go, relax, and release. I feel like this is going with the flow a little bit more or less, controlling the situation, taking it easy, but this is also in communication. So along with the meaning of the card, I think that it's about letting go of verbally what doesn't serve you anymore. Things you need to release and speak out. What do you need to say to release from the throat chakra? Like, what is it? I think we can take a lot, and I think it needs to be released through writing, through singing, through just talking to someone, therapy, that kind of thing. I think it's really important. And having the will to move through this and having the strength. She's holding a ball of light like right here at her throat, and to me, I always see this when it's it mostly comes either into the emotions or the communication position, which I think is interesting. And I always find like there's like this light, something needs to be released here, that needs to come out. Maybe you need to speak your truth a little bit more, but you do have the will to move through this. I'm going to pull a card on what that is, but sometimes when I don't understand the card 100%, Excuse me, I like to clarify. And then we have a self-reflection. I'll show you that card. It's basically looking in the mirror and having balance emotionally and physically. I always say, like, looking in the mirror and... please. So the Moon card came out in Will. And to me, this is all about... But it's in the reversal. So I think things are being revealed. The unknown, stuff from the past that you've buried that you haven't seen in a new perspective. Maybe somebody's bringing you... They're communicating you some unseen, unknown things that you didn't know in the past. It's in the reversal. So I think that's why I see it in the throat there. I think also the will is also about not allowing other people's will to control your will. Like, someone else's will is not your will, your strength, you know, and also yours is not someone else's. So this is a matter of communicating truth in the purest way, but not controlling or manipulating someone else's visual or like perception, or how they do things. And I guess this could be like things being revealed. I'm going to pull one more card on that for clarity. Because I'm interested now. So maybe there's been a cycle of yours that you keep going in circles and you're not really, something's not being shifted, and you're working so hard at trying to shift something, or having the will to shift something, but it just feels like you're going in circles and you're working on, this could be just one situation or for a very few. I don't feel like this is for everybody, but working really hard and going in circles about something and having the will. I mean, I think it's all about communication. How, like, are you creating someone else's will and vice versa? So I just feel like there's like a communication disharmony with something. That's what I'm getting from this. And I'll pull some other cards with it, but it's just, there's this disharmony, some sort. I'm not understanding it, but maybe it'll unravel. So I'm going to keep going. So the self-reflection, this is all about looking in the mirror and looking at yourself. You're looking at your emotions, seeing where you're at. Also, like, looking in deep and saying, like, do I love myself? Do I like who I am? You know, would I be my friend? Would I hold my own secrets? You know, like that kind of thing. Like, really looking at yourself with a magnifying glass and finding balance within that. And this is also like really self-reflecting on deep emotions, like deep-seated stuff, things you've been holding on to for a little bit, really connecting with that and releasing things that don't serve you anymore. Knowing that you are protected and you aren't going underwater, you're not drowning, but that's how it's showing you that I think your emotions can be coming up higher and higher, and you need to work through them a little bit. Having control, letting go of fear. I think not being connected with yourself here, I think it can be feeling like you're drowning sometimes in your emotions. And I know this isn't the intellectual and communication part, but water is all about emotion and intuition, you know. But maybe speaking out what you're feeling emotionally, like verbalizing it to someone or like writing it down. And maybe writing it down and releasing it will not have that feeling of like water coming up beyond your control, you know? And then you have the Four of Pentacles. It's all about security and control. Or, having control over things. Not holding on to things so tightly where you feel like you're hoarding it, but just finding a balance. And are you feeling secure? Do you feel safe? You know, do you have stability in your emotions? or in your the way you communicate? Do you feel stable in that? Do you feel comfortable and safe? So it's just inviting you to look at that. Creativity in reverse, the artist. Maybe you feel like, for some, maybe creativity has been stagnant. Your expression, the way you express yourself creatively, has been stagnant. Whether you're a singer, an artist, do poetry. However that looks for you, but I think there might be some stagnation due to lack of communicating it or verbalizing it and releasing it from the throat. So if that's you, then I invite you to maybe look a little deeper there and see kind of what's going on, or how ways that you can kind of tweak that, or just literally spewing it out, or recording it and listening to it later and really hearing yourself the way you articulate it. And family, the mother. So, and this is the Empress in this deck. And the Empress is all about nourishment and growth and creativity. It also just means family, you know, really connecting with your family, or communicating with your family, or is there some stagnation there? Is there something that needs to be said or heard for some? But this is I feel like planting seeds, you know, like verbalizing it is planting seeds for things to grow, you know, and for things to be released out of the body. Some maybe feel like they need a mother, like to feel nurtured and cared for, you know, so maybe seek that out if possible from a family member or friend, or just verbalizing it. This is all about communication, and I think there needs to be a little bit of digging in this category. Just from the way that I'm trying to articulate it, I'm like exhausted. Like it's like trying so hard to come out, and I think there's something to that. I either choke or I feel this way in this position all the time. But I do think that maybe there's like an ending of feeling like stuck up here or something. Something needs to be released. It's time for something to be revealed and let go of in this position. I'm going to do a couple clarifiers on the artist. I'm just curious. The Star. So this is being your truth, finding your true path, or knowing your truth, having hope. I think for some of you are artists, like I'm a singer that doesn't sing anymore, and I regret it every day. I love what I do, but I can't do everything in life, right? So you pick and choose what works best for you in this life. Excuse me. I don't want to choke again. But this is about finding your true path, your truth. Finding creative ways to do so if you're not an artist. You know, like taking a class, or like joining a group about creative writing, or, you know, do something that's going to really bring you closer to your truth. Spirituality books, following somebody who's a spiritual talker, you know, speaker, and that kind of thing. Tarot. Anything like that. Let's do the family. Empress. And the Empress is all about creativity too. A lot of creativity here, and finding ways to navigate around things that are out of your normal scope of practice or being, you know. Thinking outside of the box for healing is basically what it's saying for those who are not artists, you know. A lot of Tauruses are, though. And the family is all about looking at, so the journey card is all about appreciating the day-to-day and enjoying the journey and really taking it all in as a journey, not just the destination of things. So maybe it's kind of being almost like what I see with the family card is about being grateful for the things that you do have and really appreciating your day-to-day and not taking that for granted. That's kind of what's sitting with me with this. and just because it could be taken away very easily. I don't know why I'm getting this, but this is just just appreciating that time and that energy and that feeling of being nurtured and cared for, even if it's a self-growth and being nurturing to yourself, and like really appreciate the journey, not just the destination of like being cured or happy at all of a sudden, but like really being like going through this growth period and appreciating the day-to-day and learning from the actual journey, not the destination, is what it's offering. So the next is the emotions that you can connect through this. You have pleasure, the High Priestess, which is a great card. The Stranger, which is the character, and I'll explain to that as best as I can. And setting intentions, plant the seeds and watch them grow. So we've kind of discussed that a little bit. So this came in the last reading too. It's about finding pleasure, but also releasing the energy to the universe, like literally setting yourself free, like we spoke about in the communication position. It's just like releasing the energy around that's in you that needs to be come out, like this energy that you have growing here, releasing it in the right way, like, and having fun and enjoying the process. Doesn't have to be a chore. And the High Priestess is all about connecting with your intuition, you know, and your knowledge, your sacred knowledge. So and sitting in that power and knowing, you know, your worth. It's also too, which is at a crossroads or making a decision or a choice. And I think whatever decision or choice that you do have, and this is more of the emotional part of this journey, making choices of like how you want to do this or what you need to let go of, you know, choosing, making choices of what you want to stay, what you want to go, and using your intuition to do so. Like what's important for you to hold on to, and what's important, what is not yours anymore, what's old energy or somebody else's energy from broken hearts and like experiences. Like, yes, you want to know that experience and remember it, but you don't have to hold on to it in your chakras. You know what I mean? So like, it's like knowing the sacred knowledge within, using your intuition to connect with your emotions on the deepest level possible, you know? And that's what this is. And the High Priestess is all about like this mystery about it too. Like it's this mysterious, like knowing, I don't know. She's just magical. I love the High Priestess, but, it's really connecting with your intuition and how to take in these emotions that are coming in or being released. Like really sitting with it and analyzing it. And what does your body feel like when emotions come in? Or do you just like have a thought and then bury it back down? Or do you want to deal with it and bring it up to the surface to work through it? You know, like that's kind of the growing part that we're in right now, is like we've done all this work to bring things up to the surface. Now we have to deal with it. And what is the best way, most sacred way to deal with this? Because it's a very sensitive area, because these are childhood stuff. This is you know, how we carried ourselves and how we perceived things through our lives. So it's can be very, very emotional, you know? Yeah. And setting intentions, like, you know, really set intentions on how you want to release this and like what you want to bring in. Like, how do you want to deal with all of this? You know, I know this is the emotional stuff, but how do you what intentions are you setting for the final outcome? You know, are you articulating it in a way that it's going to come exactly the way you wished, or are you kind of just saying whatever and you'll take what comes? Because sometimes the universe gives you exactly what you ask for. And if you don't ask for much, it might come in the weirdest of ways, or the ways that you're not really resonating with. So really being specific on setting your intentions here. So when they grow into you want that to grow to the plant that you were intending it to grow. You know, like if you're asking for a rose bush and you want love and light and gorgeous flowers, you know, like a lot of love and support throughout your life, and you're growing a bush, you know, don't you want it to be a rose bush, not like, you know, hawthorn or something, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I know it's a weird example, but you get my drift. It's like, making sure you're accurate and precise with what you're asking for, so it can come the way that you want, when you want it, and knowing you're ready for it that way. You know, that's my whole point. And the character, or the Stranger, is also about stability. It's a 4. And, so to me, this is a couple of interesting things, and I'm going to clarify. In the emotional position, the stranger can be the emotions that are coming up that you're not familiar with, that look bigger than they really are, that look scarier than they really are, because you're assuming that it was the same way from when it came into your body and the way you perceived it as a child. That's kind of what I'm going at with this. So like, it's just a hand puppet, but it looks like a monster or a dog. You know, it looks bigger than it really is, because when we were kids, if you're dealing with a lot of emotional stuff, a lot of childhood stuff's going to come up, right? I mean, that's usually the first stages of digging this stuff up. That's the deepest in there, buried deep. And they always seem bigger than they were because we were kids and things were scary and we didn't know any better and we were naive. So, you know, realizing like, are they going to show face this scary, or are you going to observe it and say like, that's not so bad, I can deal with this now because things are different, I'm mature, I'm older, I have tools under my belt, that kind of thing. This also can be the opposite, where like somebody is like, if you're dealing with an emotional stuff now, or somebody who causes a lot of distraught emotions or just emotions, and you like, are they barking? Is there a bark bigger than, is that, I don't know the theme or the saying of that, but bigger than their mouth? I know I sound a little off right now, but are they barking louder than they are? Like, is it a chihuahua barking like a pit bull is kind of what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, they might be causing all this emotional distress in your body, and they're not really, they're a little smaller than you think they are. So this could be a situation or people. It doesn't have to be a person, but just realizing that things are not always what they seem. They may be smaller than they seem. So really looking at that. I know that was a very long explanation for this card, but it's hard to articulate in a way that goes with the reading. I have to kind of keep talking until the words come out. That's how sometimes my intuition works that way. So, and the healer, I think this is a huge healing, and releasing what is no longer yours. I mean, that is absolutely what we're talking about here. This is the healer right here, is really looking at things for what they are, not what you thought they were or what you think they are. Really seeing things as an observer, stepping back and saying like, this person's not attacking me. They're just hurt and they're just lashing out. It's not personal. That kind of thing. Standing in your power and knowing your intuitive self is saying like, this is not about me. I'm not going to take this in, you know, that kind of thing. So that's where I am with that. And then in the, how we move through to the outcome. Excuse me. You have the 9 of Swords in reverse. Well, I'll show you the card. 9s are all about progress or clarity on a direction, you know. And if it's in the reverse, so maybe there's going to be some stagnant. Well, that makes sense. What's next to it? It's the Fear card. That makes sense. It's all about your perspective. You know, what side of the what side are you looking at? The more negative side, or the more like optimistic side, and self-empowerment. So I think that fears that you keep in your body are holding you back from having this perspective turned upside down or turned upright. Sometimes the fear is going to hold you back, or feeling isolated from that fear or lonely from that fear. And I feel like you've done a lot of work. If you look at this card, she's holding a bunch of birds on a string, and the cage is empty and it's being held by a string. And inside of her womb or her dress is her feeling isolated and afraid and alone. And what I see from this card is I feel like we've unleashed a lot of the fears that we've had, right? We've worked so hard to like overcome them and move past them and be strong and say, I'm not going to allow that to dictate or control me. But I still feel in some way we're still holding on to them. We haven't released them to the point where they set free. We've only released them enough to say, okay, I have control over this. And you're having control over your fear, but it still controls you because you're still holding on to them. And that light that is being lit in your soul is only illuminating your isolation and only illuminating your fear and your loneliness and your ability to not move forward, your inability to not move forward and release this fully, because we're still holding on to that fear, you know? So this is inviting you to really start to really analyze, do some cord cutting, like really sit with your intuition for 20 minutes, a half hour, and just let your body settle and hear what your body's telling you, you know? Where are your fears coming from? When you have a fear about something, write it down. And then when you get a list of fears, say like, how impractical is this? Is this something that I can totally release by just perspective, or just faking it till I make it and say like, I'm happy, I can do this, you know, like tricking your body into thinking that you are in control and that is not a fear of yours. I don't know what you need to do it. Maybe you have your own way of handling fear, but sitting with that and saying, what am I really afraid of? You know, what am I really scared of? The future or the unknown as a Taurus, you know, because we like stability. We like things to be right now and secure and comfort. Maybe it's just the unknown. Also, the employment card came here for, so this is, is that an 8? Yeah. 8s are all about obstacles or like blockages. So maybe for some of you in employment, you're having some obstacles around that. For others, you know, you're finding creative ways to navigate through your employment and trying new things. It's funny. She has like these bottles. To me, they're like potions and a bell. And maybe you're doing some, I mean, you could be I'm an herbalist. So to me, the tinctures it looks like tinctures that are on her body. And she's holding a bell, and, you know, it's like doing some meditation or going inward about this. But for others, it could be just like being a warrior and you're like sucking it up at your job and finding ways to ground yourself in a time that somewhere you don't want to go, or maybe there's uncertainty there and that's what you're afraid of. For some of you know, there's fear from losing your job, or that you've lost your job and now what are you supposed to do next? You know, that could be the case too. I'm going to pull a clarity card on that. And also action, awaken the warrior within, the woman within. This is kind of like a, you know, a knight, and taking action and like going forward and like pushing through. This could be fighting for your job, you know, or just taking action, looking for new job opportunities for those who are in employment, because it said it here, but others are just like taking action to shift fear and like transform it into something else that you can actually utilize for greater good. Getting your self-empowerment back. You know, that's your warrior. You're like fighting for your self-empowerment, fighting for a better perspective on things. I'm going to pull a clarity card here on the employment. I feel like a lot of you are working really hard to sustain this. Maybe you have a union with somebody in this, like you're working with your partner, like I work with my wife. There's a union here. Or maybe the employment card for some of you that are not employed or that don't have this issue. This could be just really hard work, and it's just like a full-time job to work on relationships and really fix yourself too. This can also be just hard work in general. But I think some of you, it's for work. And you're such a hard worker, you know, but you don't have to do it alone. There is a beehive with their, you know, it's the whole tribe in there working together as a unit to get the job done. Meaning you don't have to do this alone. There's plenty of help if you look for it. Breath. I think it's just going with the flow a little bit more. Letting go. Just bringing back that letting go card. And just kind of soaring and going with the flow. Take a little sip, sorry. Get very dry talking. But the union card, I'm going to clarify union and see if this is like a relationship or... I'll do one more because that kind of fell out. The union card. It could be a union with yourself and really dedicating this time just to be united with yourself and really do inward hard work. And that this this is your employment, like you're working so hard, like it was your job. That could be the case too. Union, please. So the Emperor came in. Father card. The Emperor is all about authority, leadership, being focused on something. For some of you, this could be just crazy focus on getting all of this stuff sorted out and worked on. Like really dedicated. Others can be in a leadership role and authoritative. And also being like really focused on work right now and really growing. Maybe you have a business, not allowing fear to take over. And that's kind of your self-empowerment is coming from your job. And you're really taking a lot of action to grow that. So it could be job related. Let me just pull one more. Actually, I'm going to pull one more of these actual tarot. Almost came out. Here we go. The Queen of Cups. So in the end, I think the whole point of all of this work is to find peace and compassion for you and for others, and just find inner peace and self-love, and just have patience with yourself in all of this, because this is a hard journey and a lot of work, and it's exhausting. But we are strong enough to deal through this. But like I said, stay grounded and really try not to resist as much as possible, because it just makes life so much easier to navigate through this when you're not resisting the change. Let me I always pull some self-care cards, and then Taurus, I will send you on your way. So connect with crystals, clear your energy field, doing some work, inner work. I think that has a lot to do with this the releasing and doing some healing in here. A health checkup, I'm due for one, that's for sure. Just to make sure that everything is running smoothly, health-wise. And write a gratitude list. Here we go. We said this. Well, just write a list of things that, emotional stuff, things you want to release, things you're grateful for. Just to verbalize it and to release it from your body is really, really good. Health checkup, really important. Doesn't always come out for everybody, but I feel like that's you. Connect with crystals or the earth. This means just go be in the woods, ground yourself barefoot in the soil for a little bit. Doesn't have to be with actual crystals if you're not into that. Clear your energy. You can sage your house, sage your being, take a Epsom salt bath or a sea salt bath, neutralize the energy a little bit. Make a vision board. So that's a really good idea for the communication part, actually emotional too, or the whole thing. Just make a vision board for the next month of what you want to release, what you want to bring into your life. I think I'm going to make another one. I made a few over the last few years, but it's time for a new one. I hope this resonated. I need to watch this and see if it resonated fully for me. And if you like this, if you like the way that I read, if you could please like and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. All of that would really help grow the channel, and I would love to stay relevant. This is a lot of fun, and it's a passion of mine, so I would like to keep doing this. Enjoy your month of April. Please let me know if this resonates. And I will see you in the month of May. Take care of yourself, Taurus.